So, a couple days into this bee removal at a salt storage facility owned by the township. And if you look to the left of your screen, you're going to see the east side of the building. And we've already removed two hives from there, about 20 feet tall apiece, with a cross section of about 1 foot. So, that's about 40 cubic feet of material that's already been removed from this building, and another 20 to go. So, in total, 60 cubic feet of material ended up being removed from this. And that is just a staggering amount of bees, honeycomb, and honey to have to deal with. So it was about 5 or 10 times bigger than we expected. And this resulted in us having to call in some backup from some extra beekeepers just to deal with the extra material as well as work. It also turned a couple day job into a job that lasted well over a week. So, quite interesting. You can see in the right hand of this beekeeper is one of the tools we created to help slice up the hive into reasonable sections that we could then part off and either put in bee boxes and bring straight to the bee yards, or into Rubbermaid's buckets and totes to be used and processed in various ways. So, very interesting. This was by far the biggest bee removal done in this area, and I think to this date that record would likely still stand. Obviously, historically, there may have been larger ones, but we're talking about the last 15, 20 years, and recent memory for many of the beekeepers in the area. So, very interesting, absolutely historical, and you get to see the start of the bee vacuuming right here, and you'll see some smoking and a lot of the other things that are common to what beekeepers normally do in their everyday operation. So I'll leave you to that, and I'll check back in at the end, and we'll just talk through some other pictures, as I didn't get video of the whole thing because once things got really going, it was difficult to go back and forth between the camera when I was really needed, doing the things that you see on camera, that everyone else is doing. So thanks for watching, and enjoy. So we're just nearing the end of what I was able to catch on video. And as I explained before, following this, things got quite hectic and it just wasn't okay for me to be able to get to the camera and be back and forth worrying about that sort of thing when I was needed for so much else. But I was able to snap a photo every now and then, really every chance I got. And it did allow us to catch pretty much every stage in this end of the removal. So, not too disappointed. When I looked at these videos are actually, probably 8 or 10 years old at this point. It's nice to see that we did get as much as we did, and a lot of it survived. So here we are, just moving our way up the honeycomb and dealing with what's at the bottom, which is able to be put into boxes. As you get further up, everything's so dense that it just won't go into a box quite as well. As you can see, it's really starting to get more dense there, and that's where we switch to buckets and totes, and that really is your only option. Now, what's really neat about doing removals like this is you get to see honeycomb in so many different weird shapes and orientations that you just wouldn't normally get to see. Much like getting to see places that you don't normally get to see while doing bee removal, or wildlife rescue for that matter, you get to see really neat things like this. Leather gloves soaked in honey, dripping honeycomb just being torn apart. It's just absolutely so cool. It was one of the neatest parts about this, was to see the different orientations of honeycomb, the ages of it. The darker it is, the older it is, and naturally the lighter it is, the more fresh it is. And so that would be just sort of mid age right there. Looks delicious. Absolutely was delicious. We tried it. But just massive chunks of honeycomb, and all kinds of fun to do this. Really good learning experience. But as you can see, complete solid chunks all the way to the top. It's not an exaggeration to say that there was upwards of 60 cubic feet of material in this. Just shocking, especially when you consider the volume of the bees themselves. So here we are with more shots of the buckets and the cleanup, and then you'll see a little bit more of the work area, a few more shots of honeycomb. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care. And don't forget, save the bees.